Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the big show is on your radio. This is the Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate. Hello, Upstate South Carolina. Hello, America. Hello, world. It is great to be back with you on a Thursday morning. The sky is blue. Not a cloud in the sky. Nothing can go wrong today except everything because Lonzo's out today. A bit of a stomach bug today. The great one is out, unfortunately. So your boy is rolling solo here on the show by myself throughout the day, furiously tip, tapping away at the keyboard. That is me sending messages to Lonzo going, help, I'm begging you, please help. I'm missing out on something. But here, riding solo today, looking forward to spending some time with you this morning. Here's what I do need, though. What I do need, though, ladies and gentlemen, is I need you guys actively participating in the show today. I know it's selfish. I know I should be better at my job, and I'm good at my job, but I am rolling solo today. So what I need from you today, ladies and gentlemen, I need you actively participating in the show. I need you actively communicating. I need you involved. I need you talking to me. I need you here to hang out with me. I need text. I need tweets. If you're feeling really brave today, I need you on the phone lines, which I may or may not figure out how to work at some point. But I'm relying on you today, America. You are my co-host today. You are helping me fly this bird today. So, that being said, join me. The Preferred Home Services text line is 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, FAN, F-A-N. You start your text with FAN, I'll read it on the air, including one that says, your mic is messed up. Well, good golly, Miss Molly, I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not. If it is, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying my best, okay? No, I do know what to tell you. I'm working on it. Let me know if it's chaos. But yeah, look, I need you guys here. I need you guys here today. I need you guys hanging out with me. I need you guys providing content for the show. All right? You're as much a part of the show as I am, especially today. No Zoe means more of you. Jump on board. Let's have some fun. Shall we? I think we shall. All right, a lot of stuff we need to get into on the radio broadcast today, including last night's NBA games. The playoffs roll on. The Eastern semis, the Western semis, and they got real weird last night. Bucks Celtics was good, except if you're a Boston fan. If you're a Beantown fan, you're trying to figure out how it is that your team gave up a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter to Giannis, to Milwaukee. Giannis poured up a 40 spot, kids. A 40 spot for the Greek Freak. Boston was up 14. They fall to the Bucks in Game 5, 31-14 over the final 10 minutes of the game in favor of Milwaukee. My goodness. The Bucks are no joke. The Bucks are still good, man. And we've talked a little bit about this. I know it's old school. I know it's cliche. I know it makes me sound like everybody's YMCA uncle. But give me a basketball team. Give me a basketball team, right? We all thought that the Brooklyn Nets were going to... Scratch that. I and a lot of other people thought that the Brooklyn Nets were going to be the team this year because they had all the offensive talent in the world. They sucked a lot. They were bad. And it was because as we got towards the end of it, it became very evident. You had a bunch of guys that were a bunch of guys. You had a bunch of guys that were capable of being the guy on another squad that showed up to this squad, not the guy. Just not the guy. Because they could not put their I need to be the guyness aside to play basketball. The Bucks ain't that. The Bucks are a team that have a lot of dudes that don't mind not being the dude. They got a bunch of guys that are like, I don't have to be the guy. I just need to be a guy because I'd rather be a guy on a championship squad than the guy on a not championship squad. That's the attitude of the Milwaukee Bucks, and I am here for it. Now, Boston, on the other hand, Boston's interesting to me because I thought Boston was that guy. I thought Boston was that guy. I really thought that Boston was the team that was going to prove that ultimately it was, that they didn't necessarily need to have a Giannis, a Kyrie, a KD, a Luka, right? They got Jason Tatum. They got Jaylen Brown. I mean, this team's got players, and those guys are really, really good, but I don't know that either one of them is considered in that elite group. They didn't need those guys. But, man, did they fall apart down the stretch last night. Jason Tatum had no field goal attempts in the final, 5 minutes of that game? I think Jason Brown had one. Points where the Boston Celtics needed their guys were completely MIA. I mean, completely missing in action. And the Bucks rally from down 14 to take control of that series, 110-107. But that's not the game to talk about. That's not the game to talk about. The game to talk about today, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, Memphis 134, Golden State 95. Not a typo. Not a misspeak. Not an error of any type. Memphis put up 77 in the first half, dude. 77 in the first half. And oh, by the way, for those of you that aren't paying attention, Ja Morant did not play. Ja Morant done for the year. He has some sort of bruise to his knee. Ja Rules is unavailable for the Grizzlies for the rest of the playoffs. No Ja. And they still dropped 77 in the first half of that game. You know, the Warriors coming into and through the playoffs, the Warriors have said, hey, look, we got, what was it? Championship DNA, baby. We got championship DNA. That's what we got. Well, I got to tell you, last night would have been a really good time to show that. Like a really good time to show that. They did not. They did not. I don't know what that was. I really don't. Draymond Green, 5 points. 2 of 4 from the floor, 0 for 2 from deep, 7 boards, 5 assists. Klay Thompson, 19 points, 7 of 12, 3 of 6 from the arc, 2 of 2 from the stripe, and 3 rebounds. Probably one of the only cats that actually did show up last night, but still 19 points ain't going to get it. How about Steph Curry? You guys know I love me an over, under, a plus-minus number, right? Plus-minus number, I've talked about this on the show before, being your team's net score compared to the opponents when you were on the floor. If you go on the floor and it's 10-10, and you come off the floor and you are winning 22-20, you're +2 on the plus-minus. It is ultimately indicative of what your team did while you were on the floor. It's not the biggest stat in the NBA, but it's an interesting one to follow. Steph Curry's over-under last night, his plus-minus number, 37 on the negative. The Grizz outscored the Warriors by 37 when Steph Curry was on the floor. Steph had 14 points on 4 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 8 from behind the arc. He had 4 assists to go with it. That's, I'm not an NBA analyst, but that seems, and I could be wrong here, bad. That seems bad. That seems not good. Not good. 17 for Kuminga, 5 for Andrew Wiggins. And that's it. Jordan Poole had 3 off the bench. Steph Curry was minus 37. Klay Thompson was minus 45 on the plus minus. 45! Minus 45 on the plus minus. That's insane, dude. Like, you can't do that. You cannot, that's not good. You've got to do better. The Warriors last night, for a team that tried to sell us on, we've got championship DNA. Man, I got a bunch of science and biology jokes. I'm going to go ahead and save those. You didn't show it last night, Golden State. That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing is what that was. ESPN is running highlights from the game last night. And they're showing the listen, I don't beat up on Draymond. They're showing Draymond. The Grizz were playing their playoff anthem during the game, like while the blowout is on. They're showing they're playing their playoff anthem in the stadium, and Draymond's on the sideline like dancing, throwing the towel around. I'm like, all right, dude, cool. I mean, if you ain't embarrassed being down 55 points in an NBA playoff game, this is not regular season. Seeds are already determined. This team's locked in. Everybody's good. Nay, my friends. This was bad. It was just bad. I got no issue with players dancing and having a good time at games. I don't care. It's a game. You should be having fun. You should be enjoying it. You should be having fun. But I got to tell you, man, even me, it's a game. Let's have fun. Let's go bananas. Even me, down 55. 55 points. And Draymond, that's where you decide that it's time to hit the gritty on the sideline. That's what you decide. That's the moment. I don't know, dude. If the Warriors got championship DNA, they didn't show it last night. That was bad. How about the Grizz, by the way? Can we give some love to the Memphis Grizzlies? 3 players with 21 across the starting lineup. Jackson, Jones, and Bane all had 21. 12 for Brooks. Off the bench, 11 for Clark. 10 for Melton. 11 for Williams. The Grizz, man. The Grizz lost Ja. They got told, y'all got no shot. And they went, we'll show you championship DNA. We got championship DNA for you right here. Right here. The live stream is up at facebook.com/TheFanUpstate, twitter.com/TheFanUpstate, or search The Rob Brown Show on YouTube. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can follow along with the show. You can watch the show live. I am solo today. All you get's this. Beautiful shiny face. Ryan says, was the problem that the Warriors were just not trying hard enough, or were they just getting stomped? Yes. I think when they went down 35-40, they just kind of gave up, right? They just kind of gave up. It got to the point where everybody came off the bench for extended minutes because what was the point, right? Moody gave you 17 minutes. Looney gave you 16. Toscano Anderson gave you 16. 12 for Otto Porter Jr., a guy that gives you, 4, 5, 6 minutes a game, gave you 12 last night. Why? Because what the hell was the point? like that is what it is. That is what it is. All right. I need you guys today. I need you on the text line. I need you on the Twitter. I just need you to be a part of the show. I've got no Lonzo today. Your boy is rolling solo on the show today. So I need your input. Texter, Warriors bench the starters in the third quarter and they never played again. That being said, go Grizz. Yes, indeed. Are the Grizz America's team right now? Like, are we all Team Memphis right now? I kind of am. I'm a Ja Morant guy. Without Ja, it makes me like him more, right? Because now you don't have your superstar, and you've still got to go up against a team that's a heavy favorite. And what they do last night? Blast them. Put them down at 1 point by 55. You love to see it. Fan, the Grizzlies have been very unlucky. Game 1, Ja missed a game-winning layup he always makes. Game 4, the Grizzlies led for 47 of 48 minutes and lost somehow. And Ja is out. And they are still fighting and can win the series. I don't know if they can win the series, but I love the fight. And you're exactly right. We talked about that Game 1 layup. Ja hits that 99 out of 100 times. He just missed it at the worst possible time. He hits that. We're going back to San Francisco in Game 3 with the Grizz up 2-0. World's different series, but he didn't. Texter says, fan, don't worry, Rob, we got you today. Hope the mighty Lonzo gets well soon. He'll be fine. He'll be all right. Got a little stomach bug, I believe. It's been going around, but he texted me earlier. We've been talking this morning. He is fine. Said he's taking some meds, hugging the pillow. He'll be back tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Texter said the NFL schedule comes out tonight. What would be the biggest primetime games in week 1? You rock. Thanks, Texter. I appreciate that. We're going to talk a little NFL schedule release later on in the show. Coming up at 9:35, Rashad Beard is going to join us on the show. We'll spend some time with Rashad talking Carolina Panther football. That'll be coming up later on in the radio broadcast. But for now, let's take a break and see if I can do this without blowing it. Lonzo out today. My name is Rob Brown, rolling solo with you. Text me, Preferred Home Services text line, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N. Get me anything you want today. Anything you want today. You text me a question, a statement, a take, I respond to it. It is Program Director Thursday. You're in charge of the broadcast. So whatever you want to talk about, text me. I'll get to it. Let's take a break. Back after this. The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. This is the Fan Upstate.
Listen on the Odyssey app. Search the Fan Upstate.
Mark Ryan with big news. The Fan Upstate is here now. CBS Sports Radio. Check out our lineup of playmakers. The DA Show mornings at 6. Rob Brown at a new time, 9 to noon. Jim Rome in the jungle at noon. Then Offsides with me, Mark Ryan, and Diesel at 3. Blunt, open sports talk only on the Fan Upstate, the official sports voice of you, the Upstate fan. Streaming on the Odyssey app. CBS Sports Radio.
From the 106.3 WORD Weather Center, here's the Upstate's most trusted forecast on the Fan Upstate. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 79. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 62. Friday, a chance for storms, cloudy, high of 75. Saturday, a chance for showers and storms, a high of 81. Sunday, slight chance for storms, late, a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on the Fan Upstate.
Currently, it's 68.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about my friends at Harley-Davidson of Greenville. H-Dog, I am very thrilled. I'm very happy to be partnered up with Harley-Davidson of Greenville, and there is a reason why. It is because Harley-Davidson of Greenville. I have been a lot of places in this job. I have broadcasted in many locales. I have worked with many motorcycle dealerships and maintenance shops, etc., and I have never been partnered up with a shop that impressed me quite like Harley-Davidson of Greenville did, and there's a reason why. When I went there for the first time, I watched them go through the selling process with a couple of different folks, and they made it easy. They made it smooth. They took care of every aspect of it. It was very, very easy to see exactly why Harley-Davidson of Greenville has 6 years running been voted the best place to buy a motorcycle in the upstate. And then I watched as one gentleman walked up to the counter and had questions about a ride in the upstate. And the good folks there, Harley-Davidson of Greenville, sat down and went, here's the ride. Here's where you go. Here's what you do. Here's how you do it. Here's what you see. And it was just incredible to watch. They don't just want to sell you a bike and then get you out the door and bring you back for maintenance. They want you to be a part of the upstate Harley-Davidson family. They want you to enjoy every minute of your riding career. You want to find out more? You should. If you're interested at all, Harley-Davidson of Greenville is where you need to start, because it is where you most certainly will finish. Go visit their showroom at 30 Chrome Drive in Greenville, 30 Chrome Drive, or check them out online by visiting them at upstateharley.com, upstateharley.com. It's our friends at Harley-Davidson of Greenville.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card.
And most
All
of
right,
us
stream.
just accept
How's
the high
everybody?
interest
I'm
rates
leaning
credit
on you
cards
guys
charge as a
today,
necessary
man.
evil.
What are you going to do?
Do I have commercials
Love
coming
a
through?
fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream.
Check.
$5,000 to $100,000.
Tell me if I have commercials in there.
Pay off those credit card
So I can
balances.
fix it.
Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply.
All right,
The
let's
average credit
see.
card company charges over 19%
Tayshawn says,
APR.
did you talk about the
With
Celtics? Yes, I
Lightstream, you can
opened
get a fixed rate as
with the
low as
Celtics as a matter of
5.75%
fact, but I will talk
APR
more
with
about them
auto pay and excellent
later
credit.
on in
Now
the
I can
show.
Pay off my high interest credit cards and
Let's
save
see what
money
else we
with
got.
much lower rates.
Nathan says, okay, let me turn the,
Lightstream.com/radio.
that should be good. Are they gone now? I hope. Yeah, it should be gone now. Minus hearing them in the background. All right, let's go. Rob Brown knows what he's doing a little bit, kind of, sort of. Not very much, though. All right, let's see. Steven says, do my Steelers have any chance of being good? It's up to Kenny Pickett, isn't it? Like, it's up to Kenny Pickett. How good is Kenny Pickett going to be? A lot of people do not believe in Kenny Pickett. Mike Tomlin does. That being said, your division's going to be a beast this year. That division's got the chance to be very, very good. Scares me a little bit. Tayshawn, will you be playing Call of Duty this weekend? Yes. I do not know what this Godzilla King Kong event is all about on Call of Duty. I fired it up not last night, the night before. I jumped on and played for a little while. And I saw the cut screen where they talked about it. And then I saw, obviously, the load screen with Kong and Godzilla on it. I am a huge monster movie fan. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong. I've loved them since I was a kid. I still do. I have really enjoyed the last few King Kong movies. I actually enjoyed Kong versus Godzilla. I enjoyed that. So now I get to play in a game with him. Yeah, I will be on a lot this weekend, Tayshawn. So hit your boy up. Hit your boy up. How about the Panthers? Any chance for them to start getting good? Get good, son. Get good, son. Maybe. Maybe is the answer. We're going to talk with Rashad Beard coming up here in about 10 minutes, and we will have that conversation with him. I think there is a chance the Panthers could be better. Good is relative. Good would be 6-7 wins, right? Like 7 wins would be good. 8 or 9 would be an outstanding year. But this year is about growth. I think you've got to get out of your head that the Panthers are, divisional competitors. You're not. I'm sorry, you're not. You're behind Tampa. You're behind New Orleans. You're competing with Atlanta because they got rid of Matt Ryan. It's not about winning the division this year. It's not even really about making the playoffs. It's about showing definitive improvement under Matt Rule, which Could be done. Could be done. But we'll talk more about that. Again, Rashad's going to join us in about 10 minutes. That'll be a good conversation. All right, here we go. The Rob Brown Show rolls on. This is the Fan Upstate. Howdy, y'all. 844-326-3663. 844-FAN-PHONE, F-A-N-F-O-N-A, if you want to be on the air. You can also text me on the Preferred Home Services text line at 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N. 71307, F-A-N. And I'll read them. Texter said, listen, Mark Ryan made a grave mistake yesterday because, he spent time talking about this show. What he didn't realize is that I did not have Lonzo today, which does two things. Number one, creates a world where when I start talking, I don't have a voice of reason sitting across the desk from me to give me the eyeball death stare of, bro, don't do this right now, right? Like, ordinarily, I would start talking, and I would look across the desk, and I'd get Lonzo giving me the stare of, bro, do not do this right now. You know how this goes for us. You know that you're starting a multi-week fight. Don't do this to me right now. And I don't have him. So, on the Twitter, I just got the message a minute ago, a tweet at the Rob Brown Show on Twitter. At the Rob Brown Show on Twitter. That says, Rob... Oh, where did it go? Hang on. This came in for... Oh, it was on the text line. I'm sorry. FAN on the text line, 71307. Rob texter says, Rob, I heard on the Man Show that you and Zoe have tag team pajamas. What's that about? Let me tell you the backstory of that real quick. The backstory of that is that, no, we don't. No, we don't. The backstory of that is very simple. The backstory of that is Lonzo and I both like wrestling, okay? We like professional wrestling. Stop the text of, it's fake, right? Yeah, we have fun. It's a TV show, all right? It's a TV show that we interact with just like every other TV show. Yes, it's fake. We have fun doing it, all right? But we like it. Diesel and Mark Ryan, who both believe themselves the coolest dudes in school, do not. They believe it's for little kids. And the frustrating part for them is that Lonzo and I very frequently like to point out the number of much more manly than Diesel and Mark celebrities that show up at professional wrestling. Last weekend, AEW was in Baltimore, Maryland. And alongside head coach of the Ravens, John Harbaugh, showed up the entire Baltimore Ravens offensive line. Now, Mark and Diesel love to refer to themselves as the arbiters of manliness across the upstate. And that's fine. But I suspect that Mark and Diesel would not tell the entire offensive line of the Baltimore Ravens, we are more manly and more deserving of respect, therefore, than you are. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. I could be incorrect. But I'm not. It is what it is. It is what it is. I believe that Mark and Diesel would not have those comments for those people. So instead what happens is that they just take it out on me and Zoe, as if we are the losers, and as if when we do wrestling segments, they aren't the most interactive segments of the week that don't involve food. All right. Speaking of yesterday, when I get done with the show, if you missed the end of the show, go back and listen to the podcast. We got food takes yesterday, and when I left, I had two different people from the political sports talk station walk over and go, "What the hell were you guys talking about last night? What were you guys talking about, yesterday morning? What were you guys talking about yesterday morning?" Because the text line was chaos, and that is correct, it was. Texter says, Lonzo probably ate some grits. The after effects make me feel like I have a stomach bug. I'm not doing anti-grit slander today, all right? I'm not doing anti-grit slander. Lonzo isn't here. You guys can do your anti-grit slander when he gets back tomorrow, but I'm not doing it today. Texter says, all right, Rob Brown Army, assemble. How can we tank today's show? Just text line it. Text line. That's what it's there for. The Rob Brown Armada. I know you guys will have no issue coming out and helping me ruin the show. Thank you very much in advance. All right. A lot of stuff to get into, still need to get into on the radio broadcast today. Let's do this. Let's run to a break. When we come back, Rashad Beard of the Panther Nation podcast is going to join us here on the radio show. We will talk to Rashad about what we expect to see from the schedule drop today. We'll look at, we know who the opponents are for Carolina. Now it's just a matter of what order do they show up in. I've been asked a bunch of times, like, what does Matt Rule have to do to keep his job? I genuinely think he's keeping his job short of 4 wins or less. I think 5 wins or more, he's bought himself another season because this offseason has been actually really good for Carolina. It looked like it would be chaotic for a while to put it together. We'll talk to Rashad Beard about that coming up in just a few minutes from right now. Join us on the live stream, facebook.com/thefanupstate, twitter.com/thefanupstate, or search The Rob Brown Show on YouTube. You can join in, watch it live. Tayshawn, Nathan, Ryan, Steven, the whole gang's in there. Join us, won't you? The Rob Brown Show rolls on after this. This is the Fan Upstate.
The sports voice of you, the Upstate fan. Welcome to the Fan.
Upstate.
Now CBS Sports Radio. Dispensing real, unfiltered sports talk every weekday.
Now 9 to noon.
This is the Rob Brown Show.
The Fan. Upstate.
From the Ingles Market Studio. 97.7 FM Greenville.
97.1 FM Spartanburg.
And on the Odyssey app. Cards issued by Celtic Bank member FDIC.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this.
What's up, dude?
What's up, fella?
Hanging in there.
I heard you, buddy. No Lonzo today. I'm rolling solo, so pardon me with the chaos, man.
It's all good.
Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramps credit cards offer you more money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor.
Who you want for the Hornets coach next year?
Don't really care. I'm not that.
I
I'm
just
not
got a
that invested
T-shirt
in the
that
Hornets.
matched.
Yeah, I'm not that invested in the Hornets, man. I like watching them. I think it's fun to watch, but
Yeah.
I'm not all that invested.
Adding RAM could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
What you do now will determine how green and healthy your lawn will be this summer. Top Turf's proven 8-application program takes all the guesswork out of product.
All right, so we'll do little schedule release talk. Little like not off season wrap up because we're still off season, but like off season, how do you grade it to where we are so far? It'll be a pretty basic one, mainly because I didn't have a ton of time to prep because I had to teach myself how to do this.
Yeah, it's not much to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of light.
We're in the slow news season now.
Yeah, it'll pick back up in a little bit.
Gross. No way. I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I bet your credit score wasn't impacted at all. So, I got my real rate and monthly payment, had an amazing test drive at the dealership, and made a purchase.
Taking the easy way out. That's so you.
That's so you. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/autonavigator.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13. It lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks. Now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
KFC knows that when it comes to chicken sandwiches, there's good and there's finger licking good. A chicken sandwich? That's good. A 100% white meat KFC chicken sandwich, so delicious.
Rashad, are you a grits guy? You eat grits?
Nah, yeah, I don't eat grits. I was listening to your conversation. I don't do grits, bro. Like maybe like shrimp and grits or something like that, but I don't.
Not just grits.
Not just grits, no. Not that I don't like them. I just don't eat them.
Yeah. Lonzo got passionate about hating grits yesterday.
What do you say? It's like eating dirt?
He said it's like eating chewable water.
Chewable water is funny. Chewable water.
That's what I said. All right, ladies and gentlemen, away we go. The Rob Brown Show back on your radio. This is the Fan Upstate. I am Rob. Joined it now on both the live stream, as he does every week, and, of course, over your terrestrial radio. He is one half of the Panther Nation podcast. My guy, Rashad Beard, joining us back here on the show. Rashad, welcome back, man. Happy Thursday, big dog. And shocking, you will find it, ladies and gentlemen, that Rashad Beard is also not a grits guy. I am learning so many things about people I thought were my friends this week.
Rob, what's up, man? Yeah, not a grit guy, man. I can't help you there.
I mean, it is what it is, buddy. It is what it is. You know, nobody's perfect. I'm going to forgive this one. Rashad, it is NFL schedule release day. Now, we know what the Panthers' opponents were already. I mean, we know who they're going to play. Now it's just a matter of finding out when and where they are going to line them up. Before we get the schedule drop tonight, we know who is on it. We know that, obviously, you've got your three divisional opponents in New Orleans, Atlanta, and Tampa. So let's start with those three. We got asked in the live stream thread a little while ago, Rashad, will the Panthers have a chance to be good this year? And the only answer I could come up with was, it depends on where you set the definition of good. If you set the definition of good as 5 wins, they've been consistently good. If you set it at 7 wins, yeah, I think 7 wins is a realistic ask this year. If you set it as win the division, no, not happening. All due respect, you're just not there yet. So if somebody asks Rashad Beard the question, can the Panthers be good this year, what would your answer be?
I think the Panthers can be good. I think it boils down to coaching and guys staying healthy. You know, Christian McCaffrey has to stay healthy. The offensive line has to stay healthy. And we got to get coached. There's no excuses from a personnel standpoint. We have the guys, the offensive line. We have the only thing we don't have is the quarterback, right? And that's the biggest question mark. But we have everything else in place for a quarterback to be successful. And we just have to coach it up. So, yes, I do. The Panthers can be good. I think they can surprise some folks, but we will see. My expectation is not for them to be good. I think my expectation for them to be average this year, and then going into next year, hopefully we can build upon that. But I'm not sure about the good. I hope so, but I'm not expecting it.
So let's talk about it this way. Within the division itself, I think the pecking order is obviously Tampa number one with Tom Brady coming back. Even if Brady didn't come back, I still think they would have been really good. A lot of talent on paper, but Brady back, certainly they're number one. I don't think I'm home cooking by saying the Saints are number two in this division right now. Jameis Winston was playing good football before his knee exploded on him last year. He's back this year, assuming he stays healthy, and you get Michael Thomas back, who did not get a chance to play last year. I think the Saints are two. To me, if you're a Carolina fan, you should not be setting expectations of let's be second or win this division. You got to be looking win total, right? And I think 7 is the realistic ask, or is that too much?
No, I think 7 to 9 is realistic, right on that average. I think we've been consistent in saying that at Panther Nation Podcast. Let's just get to 8 wins. And let's build on that. And I agree with you. We did an NFC South round table with Saints YouTubers. Shout out to Big Low, shout out to Big Q, and shout out to Big Game James, who used to play for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Did a round table with those guys, and my exact order was what you said. I think the Bucks are going to be first. I think the Saints. Shout out to Big Q. He thinks the Saints are gonna take the division. I think they, bringing in Matthew and bringing in those guys. I think they. And you don't have to home cook. I do agree that they're going to be solid. The coaching is a big question. They got a rookie head coach. Can he figure it out? I know he comes from the system. He's not new, but it's different when you're a head coach. So can he coach it? Time will tell. But I do think the Panthers are in that third, battling it out with the Falcons. Just realistically, the Falcons have Marcus Mariota, and I don't think they're going to be very good, but they're going to be building. So we'll see. But I think third is a realistic expectation for Carolina Panthers fans to finish in the division.
Rashad Beer from the Panther Nation Podcast joining us here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. So when we look down the rest of the 2022 opponents, we know we've got our 3 in division: Arizona, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Denver, Detroit, Seattle, LA, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and the New York Giants. I got to tell you, Rashad, 7 wins with that roster I said it's a reasonable ask. Does not mean it's easy at all. As far as schedule difficulty goes, unless there are some teams that just shock us, Arizona's got the potential to be good. Cleveland, if Deshaun's allowed to play, could be good. Pittsburgh, we got to see what Kenny Pickett is going to look like. San Francisco, coming off an NFC Championship appearance. Denver with Russell Wilson now. Outside of Detroit and the New York Giants, this is a hell of a schedule for Carolina to get asked to go win 7 games out of.
It's brutal. And when the schedule opponents were released, we were like, man, this is going to be a difficult task. And I think when you look at kind of the moves we made, I think we kind of prepared for that. We said, hey, we got some guys, we got some teams coming in. And it's going to be a tough one, man. You look at those away games, you got to go up to Cincinnati. Cincinnati coming off a Super Bowl, appearance. Got to go out to the West Coast a couple of times. LA, Seattle. We've had some real battles with Seattle. I know they got some quarterback issues, but that used to be a big rivalry for us back in the day. Well, not back in the day, but back in 2015, 2014, we used to go to war with Seattle. So that'll be interesting to see. Ravens are always tough. I mean, this is a tough schedule. I mean, there's no really cakewalks. You look at Detroit, even Detroit. I think they're building and going in the right direction. And I think there's no cakewalks on this schedule, man. So we got to be ready to go. And I think we have the personnel to go to war with anybody. Can it be coached? And I will stand by that, and I will go to the grave saying that this team needs to be coached. And I think the personnel is there, so there's no excuses.
So are you setting it up as, or I should say, it sounds like you're setting it up as, at the end of this year, whatever the results might be, you're pinning it on Matt Rule, you're pinning it on the coaches, right? If they come out and they win 12 games and shock us all and wild card into the playoffs, Matt Rule gets all the credit, but if they come out and 5-win this thing again this year and win a few early and drop off late, you're pinning that on him too. Is that kind of the attitude you're taking into this year?
That is 1,000% my attitude. And I think it should be all Carolina Panthers fans' attitude because, listen, it was always a personnel issue. It was always somebody else's fault. We don't have the quarterback. Oh, Christian McCaffrey didn't stay healthy. Oh, the defense is young. Oh, this, oh, that. There was always an excuse. Oh, we don't have a GM. We fired the GM. Well, you got a guy that's brought in some good talent. And I think there's no excuse from the secondary to the defense, maybe the linebackers. Maybe that's the biggest issue from a personnel standpoint on the defensive side. But the offensive side of football, we don't have a quarterback, true, but we have everything else in place for a quarterback to be successful. And that's been their mantra. That's been his thing since day one. We don't need a Patrick Mahomes style quarterback. We just need a guy. So that's your thing. You have to take responsibility for that. And so, yes, I am all 1,000% on board with Matt Rule. Is if we win 12 games, he did a fantastic job with what he was given. If we're trash, then it's his fault because he couldn't work what we have. So, I'm 100% on that train.
Love to hear it. Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast, joining us here on the show. Question from Trey Davis in our stream, Rashad. He said, what's Rashad's thoughts about the secondary? Will J.C. Horn be healthy? J.C. looked like he was going to be an absolute stud last year. A painful injury for him to go down having such a good rookie year. What does that secondary shape up in a division that has Tom Brady one more time, that has a Jameis Winston who was going 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio or better last year? I'm not crazy concerned about Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder just yet, but secondary with Russell Wilson, with Kyler Murray, you're going to need to be able to lean on them. What are your thoughts on the secondary this year?
Yeah, I think the secondary is definitely the strength of this roster on the defensive side of the football. When you got J.C. Horn coming back healthy, he looks good out there. He's going through drills. I think he's rehabbing very well in the offseason. Luckily, the injury did happen early, so he had most of the season to kind of rehab. So he's doing great. He looks good. I expect him to have a monster year and piggyback off of what he was doing last year. And one has to think that, a guy like C.J. Henderson, man, listen, people are really sleeping on this dude, C.J. Henderson. This guy had monstrous tape at Florida coming out of Florida a couple of years ago. And I know he's got some mental health issues and things like that. He's got to get that worked out. But this guy has all the tools to be successful. So if you pair those two guys together, you've got booking cornerbacks, not to mention you just re-signed Dante Jackson, who is a very good cornerback as well. And so the cornerbacks, I think that's the strength of this roster on the defensive side. And then you got J.C. Horn. You've got Jeremy Chin, who was a baller at safety. And then you've got Xavier Woods, who we brought in from the Vikings, who had a very good year with them. And so, again, I love the secondary. I think we're going to be able to go to war with anybody, any of the wide receivers in the division. I think we can go to war and match up with very well with the cornerbacks that we have. So I love it. I love our secondary.
Rashad Beard joining us here on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate. Got a couple more minutes with Rashad. Ideally, what's the schedule set up like for you? Do you want stretches of home games? Do you think that having maybe a front-end home slate to try to get the crowd whipped up is good? If you're setting the schedule, when the schedule drops tonight, what setup is going to make Rashad Beard happy, or is it just a matter of you got to play the games in front of you?
Yeah, I think that this whole schedule hype thing is a little bit overstated for me because I really don't care. You got to play the games that are there, and you got to win. The only concern I would have is the two West Coast games. When you look at the going to Seattle and going to LA, those are tough. Those are tough stretches. So when you look at the schedule, are those games going to be backed up against Monday night games, Thursday night games? How is that going to work? And so those are my biggest concerns. Outside of that, man, I really don't care. I'm pretty sure we're going to end the season with the Saints. We always end the season with the Saints, whether it's home or away. It really doesn't bother me. I don't care. Honestly, it would be great to start the season at home. That typically doesn't happen with the Carolina Panthers. I think we started with the season last year at home, but it'd be great to do that again because, again, that rarely happens. I think Ron Rivera complained about that at one point when he was the coach here, that we never got to start the season at home. So hopefully that happens. But yeah, outside of that, don't really care. Play the games and go win.
All right, last one for you, Rashad. We've had a couple of discussions, and I have referred to both affectionately and not so much, depending on the day of the week, Panthers fans as wine and cheese fans, right? Like they're fans that show up as much for the social outing on Sundays as they do to be football fans at a football game to support their football team. Last year, it felt like you guys as a fan base came into the year with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of emotion, a lot of optimism, and it was rewarded early with a nice little win streak, and it got out hot, and I had folks calling the show going, oh, man, look out, Saints, we're a playoff team. Tom Brady, we're coming for you. And then, and obviously, attendance went with that, the optimism went with that, etc. Knowing that this year's schedule sets up to be tougher than last year's, knowing that there is still question marks about Sam Darnold or Matt Corral, the new quarterback or whatever, knowing that this year is going to be brutal and we're looking for 500 to be thrilled about, what do you think the stadium looks like? What does BOA look like on opening day, and what does it look like halfway into the season?
Yeah, opening day, I think it's good. The excitement's going to be there. I think Panthers fans, we have a very loyal core. No matter what happens with the team, there's gonna be a core fan base there. So I think you're gonna have a solid outing opening night. But I will say also about this fan base that it goes with how the team is performing. Right, I will never forget Bank of America Stadium against the Arizona Cardinals NFC Championship game. That stadium was nuts. I mean, it's crazy. I know Panther Nation has the potential to show up and be great fans. But this fan base goes with the team, right? If the team is trash, the fans are not gonna be excited about going out and supporting the team. But if this team starts to get some victories and they start to show promise, the fans are gonna show up. It's just difficult because we haven't had much to be excited about recently, and so I'm going to support no matter what. I'm rocking. It's Panther Nation podcast no matter what. If we can be 1-15. I've been rocking with the team since '95. So I've been in worse scenarios than what we've seen right now, and I feel like we can. We're going to recover. I think the fan base is going to show up, and I think again, if this team can show and David Tepper can show something on field product to get excited about, I think the fans will show up and be great. But again, it's tough to get excited about a team when Matt Rule is your coach and not showing much promise. You have a questionable quarterback. You had a guy like Cam Newton. He puts butts in seats. We don't have that anymore. So you got to find somebody that's going to do it. I think Matt Corral can do it down the road, but we don't have nothing to be excited about right now. We got to start getting some victories, man. So I think we'll show up once we get the dubs.
All right, Matt Rule, who I know for a fact is listening to this show in Charlotte HQ right now. Matt, Rashad says it's all on you, man. You go out there, you win 9, you're going to be celebrated. You go out there, you win 4 or 5, Rashad's coming for your job. It's just that simple.
Facts.
Love it. Rashad Beard and David Rhodes host the Panther Nation podcast. Make sure that you follow them on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel and hit that little bell icon because Shad and Dave go live like 19 times a day, and every bit of it is quality content. Rashad, my guy, appreciate you, big fella, as always. We'll talk to you next week, and we'll have a schedule to break down, dude.
Absolutely. Sounds good, man. Love coming on the show, bro.
Anytime. That is the great Rashad Beard. Again, Panther Nation podcast. Make sure you follow them on Twitter at Panther Nation PC. You can also follow them on YouTube. Check them out, Panther Nation podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to run to our top of the hour break. That is 1 hour down. Knock on wood. I haven't broken anything yet. Let's see if I can keep the streak going. Join us on the live stream, facebook.com/thefanupstate, twitter.com/thefanupstate, or go to YouTube and search and subscribe to The Rob Brown Show. You can watch us live. And by us, I mean me. No Lonzo today. Little stomach bug. He's out, so you get all Rob Brown, which means that I need you. Carry me. Help me. Give me content. The Rob Brown Show is on the Fan Upstate. right, people on the stream, how's the show going so far? I am sweating like a pig over here right now, and I don't know if it's nerves. I'm going to turn the AC on. I'll be right back. Here's a weird question for you on the stream. Have any of you ever bought Shady Rays sunglasses? Shady Rays? I've lost my Ray-Bans, my Wayfarers that I've had for 10 or 11 years now. I cannot find them. So I got to buy some new sunglasses. And these Shady Rays have popped up a lot. And I've heard a lot of people saying good things about them, but I don't know anybody who's actually owned them before. See, Keegan, this is why I keep you around, buddy. For the emotional support of friends like you. Thanks, pal. Yo, Chris K, Ryan, my brother, everyone I know. Really? Seriously? Really? All right, maybe they're worth it. I'm looking at their website right now, and they got some good-looking, like, there's some good-looking sunglasses. But I just don't know anything about the quality, man. I mean, like, $38 for their version of Wayfarers isn't bad if they're quality, man. See, my other option is just go get another pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarers because I had those for years and I loved the Wayfarers. I still love the Wayfarers. The problem is they're like $150 now. And, you know, they're like $150. That's it. I work in radio. That's it. The original Wayfarers on the Ray-Ban website are $163 now. Golly. I can't do it. That sounded pretty good. We're coming back, kids. Trey said, Rob, did you make it to the Atlanta game last night? It seems like it would have been a great one to go to. On the other hand, AEW was on fire last night. I did not. I did not go to the ATL last night. Let me tell you how it broke down for me. Mainly because I'm trying to justify to myself the fact that I absolutely missed a hell of a game last night. Absolutely did. And I know it, and I'm living with those consequences. Here's what ended up happening. Here's what ended up happening. So I got done with the show yesterday, and unfortunately, I have a life. And so I got done with the show, had to finish up work. My regular, I don't just host the show and go home, right? I know a lot of people think, because the job is so glamorous. Obviously, the job is glamorous. A lot of folks think I show up, I talk and do that for 3 hours, and then I go home. But I don't. There's much more to it. I am in this office between 7 and 7:15 a.m. at latest. I am show prepping, cleaning up the show until 9. I'm on from 9 to noon. From noon to 3, I'm editing audio and putting up clips and organizing the website and whatnot. And then ordinarily at night, I go home and I'm watching sports so I can be ready to talk about them the next day. So I got out of here yesterday afternoon about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And as I'm getting into the car, I'm like, I should go, right? I should go. I should drive over to the ATL. I should go hang out. And then I didn't. I didn't. For a couple of reasons. Number one, I ended up in a spot where I was very tired, right? Number two, the lady friend is a bit under the weather. She's not feeling all that great. And so I wasn't going to be like, hey, babe, I'm going to leave here, drive 2:15 to Atlanta, sit through a 3 to 5 hour baseball game, drive 2.5 hours back. Will you do me a favor and take care of the dog in the house while you're a little bit under the weather? Oh, yeah, and by the way, get ready for work the next day. Decided to be a good boyfriend. Single Rob, gone. Single Rob goes. No thought. Single Rob's in the car at 2 p.m., but I got life, and that's fine, right? On top of that, a group of the dudes from the Reedy River Riot had been talking about going to see Doctor Strange last night. Now, I saw Doctor Strange last week, but it was good. I liked it. And so we did a little dudes thing. We all met up. We had a cocktail before. We went to the movie. We watched Marvel movies. We came out. We graded it all out in the parking lot, and then we went home. Then I got home. Top of the ninth, Atlanta, Boston. Now on my phone, I get the little updates. I get the little updates that pop in and go, okay, Ozzie Albies hits a 2-run home run. Braves leave the Red Sox 2-0 or whatever throughout the game. Little score updates. And they ping my phone. Now I'm in a movie, so I'm checking them by looking at my phone that's in my shirt pocket to keep up with the score. Not really watching the game. I've got it DVR'd at the house. I'll go home and I'll jump through the highlights when I get home. Get home, top of the ninth, Braves retire the Sox. It's a tie ball game at 3 apiece. And then, just like that, in that exact moment, Orlando Arcia goes walk-off. Absolutely hammers the baseball.
Swing drive, hammer left field deep, to the track, to the wall, and score! A game-winning home run. Orlando Arcia, have yourself a night.
Oh. Yeah, walk-off home run for the Bravos. You know, the thing that you really want to happen every single time that you go to a baseball game. That's it. That's how you want a baseball game to end. That's how you want a baseball game to end. You want a baseball game to end on a walk-off dinger. 9th, 12th, 18th inning, I don't care. Give me a great baseball game that ends with a walk-off knock, and I will go home a happy dude. So I decided, nah, I'll stay here. I'll take care of the girlfriend, make sure she's in good shape. I'll go watch Marvel movies with the dudes, have a couple of cocktails and relax, go home, spend the night watching baseball and NBA basketball with my girl and my dog. That's the right decision. And then I turned on the TV and I watched Orlando Arcia walk-off knock the Boston Red Sox in the bottom of the ninth. What did I tell you yesterday? If you get the chance to buy a ticket and make a memory, do it. Because you might go to 99 games that end with a loss or a win, and yeah, it's just a baseball game, whatever, that was fun. But that one. There's that one game that ends like that. There's that one game that ends with a knock-off dub, a walk-off homer against the Boston Red Sox. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? All I wanted. I should have gone. I should have gone. That's what I get for being a good boyfriend. That's what I get for being a good dog dad. That's what I get. Had I just gone to the game, I would have rolled up in here today and been like, guys, I'm exhausted. I am falling out. I'm tired. But walk-off dinger, America. Orlando Arcia he made a memory last night, and I was not there to memory it. I'm talking to every young person out there. As 37-year-old Funkle Rob, listen to me. If you get a chance to make a memory in sports, if you get a chance to drive to Charlotte to go watch LeBron play, if you get a chance to go to Atlanta to watch Trae Young in a playoff game, if you get an opportunity to go to Darlington to watch Kyle Busch run, whatever, whoever your guy is, if you get a chance to do it, do it. If you get a chance to do it, do it. Because if you don't, something awesome is going to happen, and you won't be there to see it. Like me last night with Orlando Arcia knock-offing the Boston Red Sox, and me being at home on my couch watching it. But my dog's awesome. The girlfriend's pretty. What do you want? Roger says, so you didn't go to stay at home and take care of the lady friend, but you didn't stay home. Good catch. The lady friend came home from work. I made sure she had all her cold and cough medications set up. I made sure the couch was all good with her favorite white fluffy blanket on it. Made sure the dog was taken care of, etc. She was good. She was fine. And then I went to see a movie because my other option was going to be sit on the couch and not do anything else. She gave me the approval, Roger. She told me, go. It's fine. I'm good. I got this. Trey said, you chose wisely on the bigger scale. You made a great choice in your personal life and business. Who knew that Lonzo would be sick? Now you're more rested than if you went to Atlanta. That is true. Because I got the text from the big boss at like 9 p.m. last night that I was rolling solo today, which is fine. This is exactly why I have taught myself to produce my own show, to engineer my own show, to board up my own show. I run my own sound. I edit my own sound. I do everything short of pushing the buttons. Now, scratch that. I don't do that. I am capable of doing that. Lonzo, the Wizard of Ways, is the best in the business at this, right? He is the best in the business at this. So I absolutely prefer to have Zoe over here because the dude is a G, certified when it comes to this. I am not. I am good enough to pass. But this is why I taught myself to do this, for this exact situation. Brandon said that knock, though. First walk-off for the Braves of the season. First homer of the season for Arcia. First walk-off homer for Orlando after 585 career MLB games. What a game. What a finish. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about, Brandon. I could have been there. I could have been there, and I should have been there. I blew it. I decided, I'm like, no, let me be responsible. Let me stay home. Let me take care of the girl and the dog. Let me hang out with the boys for a couple of hours, which I don't ever get to do, right? There's so much going on in the world of sports. I very rarely get to, go out and do a dude's night. So let me go do a dude's night, take care of her. Everything will be fine. And then that happens. That being said, Texter says, you should have been there, Rob. They were giving free beer away. Stop it. You're a liar. Here's the problem with that. Greatest night ever, but if I got to drive 2.5 hours to a baseball game and then 2.5 hours back after the baseball game, I'm not drinking beer. I'm not. I'm knocking back a couple of ice cold Coca-Colas and that's it. So that doesn't, it was a good burn, but not going to work. Now, the lady friend did tell me that next month she wants to pick a home Brave stand and go over there, her idea, not mine, and get a hotel room at the Battery and just do like a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday day game stretch, 2 nights in a hotel at the Battery, and just make a Braves weekend. Yup. Texture says, imagine how bummed you would have been getting that text in Atlanta. Yes, that would have sucked. It would have sucked being in that stadium at 9 p.m., locked in a 3-3 game, and getting the text going, hey, you're doubling up tomorrow. Good luck. Oh, man. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back here in just a minute from right now, we will get more into the NBA playoff games from last night because a texter said to me on the text line a minute ago, quote, Rob, why are the NBA playoffs so good yet so bad this year? And it's a very valid question. The playoffs have been incredible, and then the last 2 days have happened. Now, that Boston-Milwaukee game last night was really good. Really good. But every other game outside of that has been terrible. So we'll talk about that. Got a few more texts. I'm riding solo today, kids. So yes, indeed. I want your contributions to the show. Text them to me on the Preferred Home Services text line at 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, so I can read them on the air. Phone lines are open for you as well at 844-FAN-PHONE, 844-FANFONE, 844-326-3663. You can also tweet me your takes at The Rob Brown Show on Twitter, at The Rob Brown Show. Back after this, little NBA talk. Plus, speaking of baseball, Major League Baseball did one thing that even I think has hurt the game a little bit. It involves the baseball, involves less home runs, involves the fact that Orlando Arcia's home run should have been gone by about 60 more feet than it was. I'll complain later. The Rob Brown Show's on the Fan Upstate.
Upstate recognizing our local grads who deserve to celebrate their achievements and bright futures.
ORD Weather Center. Here's the upstate's most trusted forecast on the Fan Upstate. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 79. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 62. Friday, chance for storms, cloudy, high of 75. Saturday, a chance for showers and storms, high of 81.
The baseball is dead, Brandon. The baseball's dead, man. I don't know if it's because it's damp. I don't know if they killed it with the build, but the baseball's dead. And, like, I'm not necessarily upset about the fact that there are fewer home runs. But, man, there are guys some absolutely ripping the baseball, and it's not going out, right? Like, Orlando Arcia's dinger last night should have gone about 60 feet deeper than it did, honestly. Tim Anderson, the White Sox slugger, hit one 2 nights ago that should have gone into low Earth orbit, and it just barely cleared the right field fence. This kind of is what it is. Like, the baseball's dead this year. And somebody pointed out to me that Major League Baseball actually owns Rawlings now, who makes the baseball. So basically, it's on them. Like, it's on them. And I just don't know. I don't know if that's good or not, to be honest. I just don't know if that's good or not. I'll talk more about it later on. All right, let me do this. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about my friends at QC Kinetics right here in Greenville and in Asheville, if you're a little bit north of us. QC Kinetics offers non-surgical regenerative therapy. That is to say, if you find yourself dealing with joint pain, right? I'm talking about in your knees, your hips, your lower back, your spine, your elbows, it doesn't matter. Anywhere that you bend, if you find yourself with joint pain, it is because you have connective tissue inside of all of your joints, and that connective tissue will wear down over time. It'll wear down. Parts that ain't supposed to rub together will start to rub together. When they do, you get inflammation, you get pain. QC Kinetics can help you alleviate that using your body's natural healing properties. When you were younger, that connective tissue was able to regenerate, was able to heal itself. When you age, you lose that ability. Somebody's going to go, you got to go under the knife. We got to cut you open, slice and dice, put you under, and don't do that. Don't do that. Instead of doing that, ladies and gentlemen, instead of doing that, call QC Kinetics at 864-448-3772, 864-448-3772. Mention the Rob Brown Show, get your first consultation for free, and they will tell you how their natural biologics will help to restore that connective tissue without anesthesia, without surgery. You're not going under. No drugs, no steroids, no downtime, no physical therapy. It's just that simple, my friends. 864-448-3772. Mention the Rob Brown Show. Get your first consultation for free, or check out their website at qckinetics.com. qckinetics.com. It's our friends at QC Kinetics. Oh, baby. All right, what we got? Yeah, exactly. The Ozuna one was gone. It's just the baseball's dead this year, and you know I'm in favor of pitching baseball, right? Like, I'm in favor of pitchers running baseball. I like a well-pitched baseball game. I don't need knockers every game. But when a guy grips and rips and gets a shot like that out of baseball, it should go. It should go. All right, let's see what else we got. Over here, Michelle talking about how Carolina fans are fair weather fans, same as Falcons fans. Crazy what a ring can do for a fan base. Hey, my team was selling out before we got a ring, Brandon. You know how we do. But, look, I've called Carolina fans wine and cheese fans for a while, right? They're absolutely wine and cheese fans. 100% they're wine and cheese fans. They show up because it's a CNBC mentality. Like, I'm there to get on TV. I'm there to show everybody else that I'm there, et cetera, et cetera. Looks like week one, speaking of, Brandon, looks like week one, New Orleans versus Atlanta. We're opening out the gate with the rivalry, baby. Love to see it.
There's nothing quite like surprising your sweetheart with a new getup that has you looking your best. Check out their collection today at smithandjames.com and stop by their stores at 222 Trade Street in Greer or at their new location on Verde Boulevard in Greenville.
Raymond Yachts is here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching a kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
No one can bake gluten-free vegan goodies better than Surrey.
Wait, both Jim and Marion's last days are the same day?
But he needs to whip up a new shift lead without interviews burning his time.
Gotta get interviewing before my calendar is cooked.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard, so you can stay organized and connected all the way to the hire. Visit Indeed.
All right, kids, here we go.
$75 with your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the game on the Rob Brown Show.
All right, so I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Grizz Warriors last night. Memphis beating the absolute dog snot out of Golden State, and Draymond Green is on the bench. And Draymond starts dancing to the playoff hip-hop anthem that the Grizz have been playing. And I'm like, why is Draymond dancing and waving a towel over his head when his team's down 40 points to a team that does not have their best player? And now we have an answer. The reason why is because the Grizz had a guy coming out and dancing to this song. Like the Grizz had a dance team guy out there, and my dude came over and hit the moves right in front of Steph Curry's face. And Draymond was basically using his dancing as an excuse to get between the hype man dancing and singing "Whoop That Trick" in Steph's face, so that I'm assuming Steph did not punch a male cheerleader. That's the only thing I got. That's it. Listen, I got Captain America Chris Evans down the hall. Jump in. Grab a mic. You're hanging out, right? You don't have anything better to do you?
Programming today.
Yeah, me too. Shocking how that works. I told Chris before the show, I said, I do my best to make myself invaluable. I can produce, I can engineer, I can call screen, I can answer text, I can do all of these different things, which is great when, they're trying to decide who's worth keeping on board.
Right.
It's only bad when
you have to do all that stuff.
They make you have to do those things. Chris Evans joins us here on the show. So, and the reason I asked you here, Chris, you're a mild-mannered, intrepid young man.
Indeed, I am.
As am I. Liberab the woke warrior is a pacifist. I'm 37 years old. I've never been in a fight in my life, mainly because, Chris, it sounds like any punch in the face would hurt.
Yes, it
from
does.
from everybody I've talked to. Yeah.
I made the mistake in high school, and I have not been in many fights in my life, but it's more than zero.
Sure.
I made the mistake in high school of picking a fight, and I will say that I think I was justified. The guy was being a jerk. We were playing basketball, and he was not playing fair, and it irritated me enough that I put up my dukes.
Oh.
Little did I know that he was a trained and medaled boxer. I took one punch, found myself on the floor, and said, okay, fight's over. I lost. I took the L.
That's the other reason I'm a pacifist, because there's a lot of guys that I've been like, that guy deserves an ass whooping. But then, like in today, MMA gyms are everywhere. They're everywhere. Every dude has at least some training.
This was before the advent of the MMA. I mean,
Sure.
This kid, I was in high school, and this kid was a legit boxer. I mean, he was like, he had trophies and stuff.
So
he hit me with a left hook I literally did not see coming.
Yeah.
Literally didn't even see it. And I was like, okay, you win. You are clearly better at this than I am. I
accept my fate. Yeah. That's the other reason I have not and will not gotten into a fight, Chris, is because you do not know the guy you're fighting, right? Like my old man used to tell me, like, if I don't care how big he is, if you kick his knee backwards, he's gonna go down. If you kick him in the junk, he's gonna go down. The problem is, like, boxing, yeah, because a boxer is trained to protect everything from the torso up.
Sure.
But these guys that do, like, jiu-jitsu and MMA, they are trained to protect from the ankles to the hair.
Yeah.
And if you go to kick the knee, he knows how to pull that knee back and throw the exact right leg back to kill you.
Yes.
So there's that. Now, that being said,
I try and learn something from every mistake that I make. And in that one, I learned, don't start a fight unless it's absolutely necessary. Now my fighting philosophy is, if I find myself in any kind of a fight, even a fist fight, I am fighting for my life. I have done everything I can to avoid that, and I am now in peril. But that's what it takes.
So let me ask this. We've had two different stories in the last week that involved.
You mean you've had? I don't know.
We meaning the sportsiverse.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I am outside the sportsiverse.
The Rob Brown show Cosmos, right? Has had two stories in the past week that have been predicated upon Dude A getting into the grill of Dude B. There was one with a pitcher named Madison Bumgarner who threw one inning of baseball. Now, Mad Bum is angry most of the time for two reasons. A, they call him Mad Bum. I would also be mad if that was my name. And
I've
two,
had worse nicknames, but go ahead.
He's just an emotional guy as is, right? So Mad Bum throws some pitches, has some words for the behind the plate umpire because he didn't like the strike zone. Happens in baseball. As he's leaving the field,
that's a common point of contention.
As he's leaving the field, the first base umpire, protecting his home plate umpire, goes to do the foreign substance check. Basically, they touch your hat and your glove, make sure there's no sticky stuff on you.
Right.
As he's doing this, and ordinarily he would like look at your hands and look at the glove and look under your hat, and he looks at the inside of your belt to make sure you're not hiding some Vaseline down there or whatever. Instead, he's got the angry face, and his eyes never break from Madison Bumgarner's. They're this close, right? They're you to the mic, and his eyes never leave Mad Bum's eyes. Just stares at him. Right. Well, after the substance check, as they're walking away, Mad Bum turns and says, I don't know what he said to him, but like, I can't come up with anything. The guy turns around, points at him, and tosses him from the game. He's pitched one inning. It's a starting pitcher, which completely throws the rest of your game strategy and series strategy into chaos. Then we have this from last night, where a member of the Memphis Grizzlies hype crew goes out, and the Grizz have a song called Whoop That Trick, which is kind of become their playoff anthem, right? They got their playoff anthem. They come out, and the guy from the rap and dance crew goes right over to Steph Curry, who is the superstar for the Warriors.
Right.
He's got the towel, and he's like, yo, rapping right in Steph's grill. Draymond Green, who got ejected from game 2 because he linebacker tackled a guy under the basket. He's a scary individual, right? Draymond walks over, gets in front of the guy, like between Steph and the dancer, but then he starts dancing and swinging his towel. His team's down like 45 points in a playoff game, and he's doing that. What's the better response to a dude getting in your grill? Is it Mad Bums of, hey, bleep you, and risking the conflict, or is the better answer to just do whatever that guy's doing back, in this case, dancing and swinging a towel to go, bro, you're nothing to me right now? What's the better response?
That's a good question, and I would say that it's probably situation dependent. I mean, I don't know that either of them is the best response,
right?
But there are certain times that you try and diffuse the situation. In the baseball example that you gave, it sounds to me, just completely based on what you told me, it sounds to me like the umpire was almost daring him.
He was.
And I understand
he baited him.
He's in a position of authority.
He baited him.
As the player, have to respect that authority. But it's also, it's not cool to abuse your authority.
Yeah.
And I can see that. And so I can see somebody rising to the level and mouthing off, and it's probably a better choice to walk away and say, yeah, that umpire's being a jerk, and I'm not gonna go there, because I understand what it will mean to the team and the game and the series, and that there's adjustments that have to be made. I do like the idea of going over and dancing, because who can get mad at dancing? I mean, you're trying. That seems to me like trying to diffuse the situation. Be like, hey, we're all having a party here. It's.
I think to me in that spot, you're basically telling that guy, you are literally no threat to me, right?
Yeah.
The only problem I have with it is not the dance, because I think, honestly, I like that better as the response. Yes. I am the guy who has talked my way out of every fight I've ever come close to having. But taunting the dude back, like, there's no better way to tell a dude I am genuinely not afraid of you than just taunting him right back to his face. Yeah. Because it either says, I'm not afraid of you, or I'm also a psychopath. Right. In Draymond's case, it's that one.
Yeah.
I liked the response from Draymond. The only issue that I have with it, and granted, even this is okay, because Draymond, knowing he's the enforcer, right? He's the bully. He's the bad guy on this team.
Right.
He's the muscle. He's the brute, the goon.
The bouncer.
Yes. The only reason that I actually respect this move, that I like this move, is that he put himself between Steph Curry, the most important player on the team,
right,
and this guy who was clearly trying to get Steph to react. Now, I don't think the dance crew guy wanted Steph to, like, fight him, but you've got this team on the ropes. They are in trouble. They're down 40 with 12 to play or whatever it is. You've got them in trouble. If you can get inside of Steph Curry's head and keep him from going on a 35-point run, which he's done, 35, 40-point quarters are a reality for him, helps your team win. The guy with the microphone, the dance crew guy, genius. Because if you can get in Steph's head, your chances to win just skyrocketed. Draymond responded perfectly because he got between that guy and his star player, separated them, but did so in a way that doesn't inspire the New York Post headline of Draymond Green kicks ass of dancer guy. Like, he made it fun.
Not only that, using the baseball example in contrast, let's say that he doesn't do that and Steph Curry does react. He could get ejected from the game for that. And which presumably is the whole point.
Yeah.
And you prevent that from happening, as didn't happen in the baseball game. If somebody else had come and stepped in between the umpire and the pitcher and did a stupid dance and saved the pitcher from getting kicked out of the game, that's a good play.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if that guy gets kicked out of the game.
Yeah, 100%. It's if Draymond threw himself, because if Draymond gets ejected for getting into it with the dance guy, whatever. I still need Steph if we have a chance. Like, Draymond's going to help, but I need Steph to win this game. That being said, I have just gotten a text on the text line that kind of changes the conversation a little bit.
Love changing the conversation.
Before Game 5, Steph Curry apparently said their mentality was that they were going to go into Memphis and, quote, whoop that trick. So Steph ran smack using the title of this guy's song. So this guy came.
There's layers, I admit, but again, in the situation, it's situation dependent. In the situation, you make the best choice you can, and I think that was a decent one.
Oh, 100%. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, guy with the microphone is significantly more justified in his behavior because you talk smack about my team and used my song to do it. Now I got you on the ropes by 40 points in a playoff game. And a mic.
How'd that whooping go?
And a mic.
Yeah.
Who to trick now?
Yeah.
I believe would be the expression. All right, we got to run to a break. We'll come back here in just a minute from now. NFL schedule release coming up later on this evening. We are going to take a look opponent by opponent at the schedule of the Carolina Panthers. 3 weeks ago, we said 7 wins was going to be the target mark. Is that still a reality based on the schedule we're going to see tonight? We'll break that and more down when we come back. My name is Rob Brown. Thanks for joining in, Captain America Chris Evans down the hall.
Always a pleasure.
Always mine. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate. Thanks for jumping on there, buddy.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Really just wanted to come in and see this. Are you streaming?
Uh-huh. I'm doing everything.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, that's Chris. Oh, let me do my live. Oh, no, I forgot to put in my stop set, so I'll do my live read at the end of the break. I could have put it in there.
You could have, but you know.
Oh, well. I freaked out under
So
pressure.
many balls in the air.
Yeah, well. I haven't broken anything yet. Hang on, stream. I will be right back because I do need to take a short break. All right, dudes. Appreciate you guys. Sorry about that. All right, what do y'all want to talk about, stream? You're in charge. I got Panthers schedule I need to get to. Outside of that, what else you guys want to get to?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast. Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Everyone knows that Nature Valley Crunchy Bars are, well, crunchy. What they don't know is that they're also packed with 16 grams of whole grains, ready to help you get out there. Nature Valley, for every adventure.
Oh, I was having a good day. Well, I was batting 1,000. What are you gonna do, right? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Rob Brown Show is on your radio. This is the Fan Upstate. Yesterday I gave a bunch of credit yesterday, and I thought rightfully so. Nope, stop it. I did not tell you to do anything. I gave a bunch of credit yesterday to Waffle House, and they just tweeted out, just say no to pancakes. Waffle House tweeted out, just say no to pancakes. And I get what you're doing, like you're protecting the brand here. You know, you're the Waffle House, not the everything house. But would you give up pancakes for the Waffle House? If your options were you can have pancakes but no Waffle House, or Waffle House but no pancakes, which one are you taking? Right? You gotta go Wahoo over pancakes, right? Like, pancakes are good. You got some versatility in the pancake game. But Waffle House is Waffle House, man. If you have pancakes, it keeps you open to pancakes, but it shuts you out of the Waffle House. That's no. Come on now. Come on now. I mean, it's a bad take from Waffle House. Pancakes are still delightful, even if you don't have them. But at the same time, if you're locking me out of the Wahoo over pancakes, I don't like pancakes that much, man. I don't like pancakes that much. All right. Let's do this. We talked a little bit about the Carolina Panthers and their schedule release coming up tonight. We know the opponents that are going to be on the Carolina Panthers schedule. Obviously, we start with a pair of games each against the Saints, the Falcons, and the Buccaneers. The Bucs, Tom Brady. What's that guy getting? $400 million to work for Fox whenever he decides to retire? I did something wrong with my life, y'all. I really did. Anyway. Tom Brady comes back. The Buccaneers are still going to be good. The only question about the Buccaneers at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is with Bruce Arians out and Todd Bowles in as the head coach, who is a defensive head coach, what does the offense look like? But as it's been stated many, many times, Tom Brady's not only a great quarterback, he's a great offensive coordinator too, right? Like, Tom Brady knows what he's doing. If I'm Todd Bowles, my offensive coaching this year is, hey, go be Tom Brady. That's it. That's my coaching. All right, everybody in here, hands in the center. Let's go Tom on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go be Tom Brady. They still got a team around this guy. They still got a good team around this guy. This is still Tampa Bay's division. Y'all, for the record, I'm in this division. I'm a Saints fan. I'm in this division with you. We're all looking up at Thomas Brady. That's just the fact. Last year, the Panthers and the Saints went 1-1 against each other. The first L came early in the first L for New Orleans came early in the year when Carolina was on a heater. Later on, when Carolina fell off the heater, New Orleans got him back. But the Saints finished second in the division last year with a 9-8 record and one bad loss to the Giants away from being in the playoffs as a wild card team, right? Still a good New Orleans team. And they will be better this year. Adding Honey Badger to the defensive backfield. Malk Jenkins out, Tyrann Mathieu in. That's an upgrade. I like Malk. Malk's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. Won one with the Saints, won one with the Eagles. But this is an upgrade in Tyrann Mathieu. As I have mentioned many times, Jameis Winston was on a clip to go 3.5 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio. I'll take that. And he did it without Mike Thomas. This year, he gets Michael Thomas back, and he gets Chris Olave from Ohio State on the other side. He's got a 4-3-8 runner on one side, and he's got slant God on the other side of Mike Thomas. That's a tough offense to beat. Oh, and that Alvin Kamara guy's pretty good if he's not in jail. Pretty good. You got Atlanta. Now, the good news for Carolina is, sorry, Brandon in the chat, big ATL guy, Carolina might be better than Atlanta this year. Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, not Ryan, is out. He is gone, right? He is gone. Because he is gone, and they've got to go with Marcus Mariota, quarterback play is going to be a big fat question mark for them. unless Desmond Ritter steps up. But again, you taking that run. You throwing the chips in on Desmond Ritter? Not this early, right? Not this early. Carolina should be third in the division. Should be third in the division. Anything worse? Question mark. Anything better? Big win. So let's look at outside of the division, what the schedule is going to shape up like. Arizona is going to be in this year. Kyler Murray has been a good quarterback. Lonzo is not a fan. Not a fan. Kyler Murray's a good quarterback, but he's a guy that, when faced with a hard pressuring defense, can be taken apart, right? Last time we looked at Kyler Murray in the playoffs against the Rams, a good defense, 2 picks, no touchdowns. Last year, Carolina played the Cardinals. They beat them 34-10. Remember that one? That was the one that we all looked at and went, oh, damn. Maybe this team's good. Maybe this team's good. Maybe these Panthers are going to do something. Maybe. Maybe. They did not. They did not. What I'm curious about with this Arizona team is what Carolina's defense is going to do, right? If Carolina's defense can get into the face of Kyler Murray, it's a winnable game. If they can't, Arizona's got weapons. You got Cleveland. Let's call this one what this one is. Yeah, this one very much comes down to, is Deshaun playing? Is Deshaun playing? Or is it somebody else? Now, keep in mind, Baker Mayfield's still on this Cleveland team. Baker's still on the roster. If Baker Mayfield is still on the roster and Deshaun Watson is unavailable for the Browns, Baker Mayfield might play. Now you're going, wait a minute. Why would Baker play this year, right? Doesn't he hate them? Yeah, but Baker Mayfield needs to put some tape down, all right? Baker Mayfield is the guy that needs to update his resume a little bit, because when he was a free agent, as he effectively is, nobody was willing to make a trade for him. People said, Desmond Ritter is available. Maybe not Baker Mayfield. Matt Corral is available. Maybe we go with him. Malik Willis, Liberty University, is a better look than Baker Mayfield. I don't know, man. That's not a great look for Baker. Now, I think Baker is better than he gets credit for, yeah? Baker got drafted to a 1-15 team and 2 years later had him in the playoffs. There's something to be said for that. Is it all the credit to Baker Mayfield? No. Does he get a lot of the credit? Hell yeah, he does. Hell yeah, he does. Why would Baker Mayfield play for the Browns this year? Because Deshaun is unavailable and because Baker needs to put some film down to show he's still the guy. If Baker Mayfield is the starter when you play Cleveland, and again, I don't know where in the season this is going to fall, but if Baker Mayfield is on the schedule when you play the C-Town Browns, you're playing an angry quarterback with a lot to prove. An angry QB with a lot to prove. So, what's that mean? We'll find out. If Deshaun plays, you're in trouble. But Deshaun's got a year of ring rust. Maybe not. Pittsburgh is on the roster this year. The Steelers do not have Big Ben this time around. He gone. Kenny Pickett comes in. Kenny Tiny Hands Pickett. And that's the big question, right? You got Kenny Tiny Hands coming in. What's he going to be? I don't know. A lot of NFL scouts do not believe that Kenny Pickett's the dude. But Mike Tomlin does. Mike Tomlin does. Mike Tomlin believes Kenny Pickett's the guy. If Kenny Pickett is the guy, if Mike Tomlin is right and Kenny Pickett's the guy, the Steelers team's going to be tough. It's a good team last year behind Ben. But, again, the question mark here is, do you believe in Kenny Pickett? I don't. I don't yet. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett. I don't think Kenny Pickett's the guy. This is a possible win for the Carolina Panthers. 100%. Denver is on the list for the Panthers this year, and this is an L. All right? This is an L. The Broncos last year had a really, really good defense and a pretty good offense, and now they've upgraded to Russell Wilson. A Russell Wilson who, by the way, last year for Seattle, I do not think was pouring his everything into that team. A Russell Wilson who is still a really good player, and a Russell Wilson I think elevates them to a next level this year. I do not think that the Denver Broncos are my Super Bowl pick out of the AFC yet, but they're going to be good, all right? They're going to be good. And defensively, front seven, they're going to be really good. So I'd watch out for Denver. Detroit's on the list. Cool. 3-13 last year. However, they had a really good draft this year. Aiden Hutchinson in the first round. Jamison Williams out of Alabama on the outside. They'll be better this year. Not good, but better. The defending Super Bowl champions, LA Rams, are on this schedule this year. Repeating in the National Football League is tough to do. Very, very few franchises are able to do it. The Rams have a really good chance for a couple of reasons. The NFC West has fallen off just a little bit. That division is more open than it has been in the past. The division's more open in the past. The NFC's got contenders. Tampa Bay is going to be back. Question mark about New Orleans. There's going to be some good NFC teams, but the LA Rams have got to be your NFC favorite, right? Got to be your NFC favorite. Baltimore is on the list. Baltimore is better than they showed last year. They were 8-9 last year, but killed by the injury bug last night. It left Lamar Jackson in a spot where he was missing out on some dudes. It was a problem. Lamar had to pick up slack last year, and he had a hard time doing it. That being said, letting go of Hollywood Brown was, in my opinion, a really dumb decision. Granted, it had to be made because Hollywood did not want to be there anymore, but it was a bad decision. They're going to be healthy. They had a strong draft. If the injury bug does not bite, watch out for Baltimore next year. Cincinnati, Super Bowl contender last year. Super Bowl participant last year. They're going to be good again. Joey B's team is going to be better this year than it was last year. It's going to be better. No doubt about it. They are a playoff team again this year. Lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl, but now they come back with playoff experience. They know what it's like to be here at that point. And finally, the Giants, 4-13, last in their division, which was bad last year. But new head coach Brian Daboll, a couple of good draft picks. You should beat them. That's a win. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 wins right now that look like wins on paper. You're going to have to go out and win 3 games. Can the Panthers do it? We'll see. We'll have a full breakdown of the schedule release tomorrow. Hour number 3 just around the corner. I got some drama for you. We're going to have a little fun on the show. I'm Rob. By myself. Text me. 71307. Start your text with FAN. Back after this for the final hour of the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. All right. 2 hours in the books, dudes. Luis, welcome in. Good to have you.
online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR, but with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR. Include a 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/rate for more information.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Veterans, whatever you're going through, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
The NBA playoffs are heating up. Unlock every angle with
All right, stream, y'all going quiet on me. Give me some stuff to talk about. Got an hour left.
injury updates and find out where the money line is moving with daily coverage from the Daily Tip. Go deeper into each series with BetQL Daily and You Better You Bet, and get live reactions to the biggest playoff moments with BetMGM tonight. Get started with the Odyssey app or find us on Twitch.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Feast on the new White Hot Ranch Nacho Fries. Marinated grilled steak loaded on golden, boldly seasoned fries, topped with warm nacho cheese, sour cream, cheddar cheese, tomatoes, and the new White Hot Ranch sauce. At a participating Taco Bell location near you for a limited time only.
And check this out.
You're on official Rob Brown lockdown.
Represents being real. Yeah.
Unfiltered sports talk. Manufactured locally for the Carolinas. This is the Rob Brown Show. Raw, only on
The Fan Upstate.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the third, the final, the best, the money hour. I am Rob Brown. No Lonzo today. Just feeling a wee bit under the weather. So I am rolling solo today, which means I'm relying on you, my friends, to send me hot takes. Send me hot takes. I need you guys to be a tattletale for a minute, okay? I need you guys to be a tattletale for a minute because yesterday afternoon, I was listening to Offsides with Mark Ryan. one of my favorite radio shows in the market. I was going out. I was meeting some of the guys for a beverage and a movie. Going to see Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. And as I was getting out of my vehicle, I heard Mark M-A-R-C Ryan giving out senior superlatives on his show. Who amongst the Fan Upstate staff is most likely to blank or blank or blank? One of them I heard was who on the Upstate Pulse, or excuse me, the Upstate Pulse. That's Lonzo's show on Saturdays, which you should listen to. It's good. Who on the Fan Upstate is like most likely to drink on a weekday? And I was very upset. Mark said Lonzo last, which is correct. He said him second to last, Diesel second, and Rob Brown first. And I was going to be very, very upset about that. Except for when I heard him saying that, I was literally pulling into a bar. I was going to be mad that Mark's like, oh, yeah, if you see Rob Brown, he's probably having a beverage. And I'm like, what a jerk for making me sound like a lush. Where's the parking spot to this bar that I'm at? It is what it is. I'm me. I'm unapologetic about it. I was going to have a beverage. What do you want? Anyway, the only other one that I heard was who on the Fan Upstate crew is most likely to help you fix your car. And now, I got to give Mark Ryan credit because Mark Ryan is absolutely dead last in that list. Dead last in that list. But then he put me second to last, Zoe second, and Diesel first. I have a problem with that one, man. I have a problem with that one. I disagree with that one. I think I'm if I'm not first, I'm second behind Lonzo only. And even that, I think I might have Zoe there. But I need you guys to tattletale and tell me if you listened, if you are in our crossover audience who listens to both shows, what other awards did I win yesterday on Mark's show? What other superlatives were handed to me yesterday? I need to know. Trey says, Mark Ryan did superlatives with you, Lonzo, Diesel, and Mark is the contestant yesterday. Trey, I need to know what other superlatives were handed out and which ones did I get? Because I'm sure it wasn't good. When I heard that yesterday, I very much planned to come in early this morning and listen to that segment to hear what other awards I won. But I did not get a chance to because I had to come in and set up and produce the show. So I'm curious. Most likely to what did I win yesterday? I need to know. All right. A couple more things I wanted to get to here on the radio broadcast today, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about this earlier in the show. I want to get to it now because I wonder what, if any, impact this has on Major League Baseball. The conversation going on in the baseball world, of which I am a part, hosting a nationally syndicated sports talk radio show, Saturdays 1 to 5. 1 to 5 on Saturdays. It's called Bet for the Cycle. It's a pun, get it? It's a baseball pun. Me and former Major League Baseball player Cody Decker on Saturdays sit down for 4 hours and give you our best bets for the week. And I got to tell you, we crush it. You can hear it on the BetQL network. You can hear it on the Odyssey app, and you can hear it right here in Greenville on WTPD HD3 where it airs all the time. Anyway, we have talked about this a couple of times. The conversation is, the hell's going on with the baseball? Major League Baseball has changed the baseball. This year, in April, Major League Baseball teams are averaging 4 runs per game. 4. That is the lowest average for a month since 1981. It is also 0.26 runs per team fewer than last year in April. In fact, the league-wide batting average in April was 231, lowest through April in Major League Baseball history. It was the single worst batting performance by all of Major League Baseball in Major League Baseball's entire history. In April, the OPS was .675, the lowest since 1968, a year that is affectionately referred to as by baseball fans as the year of the pitcher. Offenses are scoring the fewest runs per game in 4 decades, posting the worst OPS in more than 50 years and hitting for the lowest batting average ever just a month into the season. Keep in mind that all of this is happening with the universal DH, right? These are league-wide numbers. League-wide batting numbers are down when you have gotten rid of half of the league having their pitchers bat, right? Any other year, I could chalk this up and go, it is what it is. Really bad year for pitchers at the plate. They're not even at the plate. Pitchers hit 110 a season ago, the worst mark in a full season in Major League Baseball history. League-wide batting average, OPS, and isolated power without pitchers at the dish have still come down, right? You got rid of pitchers hitting, and those overall league numbers still suck. So what's to blame? Let's start with this. There are those making the argument that you cannot solely put this on a dead baseball. The decline of a league-wide batting average has gone down. The past 4 seasons account for each of the 4 lowest individual April league-wide marks in the past 40 seasons. So, Aprils have gotten progressively worse throughout the years. I'm not arguing that. Here's a number that has not, though. Runs in April. 36% of the runs in April came via home runs. Now, that includes dingers and runs batted in because of them. Okay. 36%. That is the lowest total through April since 2015. 2019 was called the year of the home run when MLB hitters hit the most homers in the history of the sport. That year, in April, 43.5% of runs came via home run. That means in 3 years, there has been a drop of what? 7.5% of your runs via home run. That's big. That's really, really big. For the first time since 2015, there was less than 1 home run hit per team per game for the first month of the season. In 2015, there were 0.91 home runs per game per team. So effectively, you had just shy of 1 home run per game per team. In 2016, it was 1.05. So you averaged just a fraction over 1 home run per game per team. 1.17 in 2017, 1.09 in 2018, 1.31 in 2019, 1.14 last year. This year, back down to 0.91, first time since 2015. But why? ESPN did a deep dive on balls that were hit with an exit velocity between 102 and 105 miles per hour, with a launch angle between 27 and 29 degrees. That is the optimum home run swing. Those batted balls were in line with the average of a 103.6 exit velocity and a distance traveled of 399.7 feet on all home runs tracked via StatCast since 2015. They eliminated, they also looked at balls hit indoors, Milwaukee's Miller Park and Tampa Bay's Tropicana Field. And what they found was that the travel rates, the distances of balls hit with that velocity and that exit angle, they're not going. They're not going. They're not flying the distance they used to fly, right? The same exit velocity and the same launch angle that used to produce well over one home run per team per game is not doing that anymore. It's not doing that anymore. I saw somebody on Twitter say, quick question. Is it maybe just that baseball players are getting weaker? No, stop it. Baseball players are getting stronger, not weaker. So why is the ball not going the same? It's because the ball is different. MLB changed it. MLB outlined a plan to change the ball based on the increasing number of home runs over the years. In 2019, 6,776 home runs were hit. That's a huge number, but the rate had fallen slightly. 6.6% of plate appearances in home runs in 2019. This year, it's going down. It's moving towards 6%, which is, again, not a huge loss, but one. A couple of things that Major League Baseball made. Inside of a baseball, you're going to find 3 different levels of wool windings around a rubber core. Baseball loosened tension on the first of the 3 wool windings inside the ball, which changed the way the ball. I'm not going to get into the science of all this. Effective to say, the tighter that wool is wound, the more bouncy the ball is. You ever take a baseball and thrown it at the ground? You can get some bounce on it. And the tighter that the wool on the inside is wound around the rubber core, the more the baseball bounces. The more the baseball bounces, the more when it pops off a bat, it goes. So basically, they reduce the ball's weight by 2.8 grams without changing its side. So the ball weighs less. It means it's got less momentum. Mass is a direct variable on momentum. You take mass away, by definition, momentum changes, right? So they made the ball lighter. They took some spring out of it, and the baseball's not traveling as far. It's just, it's a fact now. The other thing is, and our buddy Brandon in the live stream brought this up earlier. I know this is boring, but stick with me for a second. Last year, there were 10 baseball teams that used the humidor on their baseballs. Humidors, effectively the goal, for those of you that don't smoke cigars like I do, because I am unhealthy and don't care about my life or my body. Humidors are designed to standardize the amount of water in the air within a humidor. That is to say, you control humidity, how much water is in the air. With a cigar, it keeps the tobacco inside of your cigar from drying out, becoming flaky, and ruining the cigar, right? Keeps your cigar, keeps the tobacco in there nice and wet and sticky, so when you light up your cigar, well, but the baseball does the same thing. It standardizes the amount of water that's in a baseball. There were 10 teams that had it last year. There were 30 that have it this year. Teams that have added a humidor have seen the OPS of players go down by .035. They have also seen the number of runs per game drop by over .33. They are losing a third of a run per game in stadiums that are using humidors. And that's all 30 of them. That's all 30 of them. Home runs per fly ball have declined by almost a full percent in humidor games. But they have dropped 2.4% in new humidor parks. That means the number of at-bats per home run has barely changed in the holdovers, but in the new ones, it has taken 13.1 more at-bats to hit a home run in those parks. So, my question to you becomes, if you are a baseball fan and you have seen the number of home runs drop dramatically, are you good with it? Are you good with it? Are you okay with the number of home runs dropping that dramatically, that quickly? I think it's fair to ask, right? I think it's fair to ask. I think it's a good question. People want to see it. Listen, I've told you guys, I'm a pitching guy. I love a baseball game with great pitching. I love a baseball game with great pitching. Give me a no-hitter. I'll watch a no-hitter and be perfectly happy. Are you kidding me? The anxiety of a no-hitter late in a game is my jam. But when a guy gets the bat around, when a guy gets lumber to leather, when a guy hits one at 1,000 miles an hour, 45 degrees up and out, it should go. Brandon on the Facebook stream a second ago was watching the Braves game last night. He said there were a couple of blue hits I thought were going to drop in for singles last night, but they floated out there and hung up for what seemed like forever and allowed Red Sox to get under it. The baseballs felt like they had parachutes attached to them. Yeah, because they're lighter. Because they're lighter, the momentum drops. They take longer to get up to where they're going to go, and they're not going to. They're going to. I mean, there is a uniform drop rate, a terminal velocity for the baseball, but acceleration is going to be slower on the way back down. Baseballs are going to drop slower too. It changes every aspect of the baseball game. My question is, you good with it? Is baseball better with less dingers? I think the answer is no, right? When a guy gets the bat around, when he gets lumber to leather, we want to see him fly. That's just part of the game. I don't like that baseball had this much to do with changing, the baseball. I mean, it's their game. They can go with what they want. But even as a guy who appreciates pitching, I don't know that having deader baseballs helps baseball. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. And I think we saw that last night. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back here in just a minute. We got some more NBA talk to get into. But when we come back, the ACC is considering getting rid of divisions. No more divisions. They'll have a pod structure. I'll tell you what that means when we come back. I'm Rob. You listen to The Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate. Oh, my goodness. All right. Good eye, Keegan. Good eye. Oh, my goodness.
meteorologist Jennifer Buchitsky on the Fan Upstate. Currently, it's 74.
So I was thinking about this today. What college football programs are going to be the best over the next 10 years? Surprise, surprise, Alabama doesn't make my list. I think Nick Saban has 2 or 3 years left. I don't think he coaches to 80. So how about the top 10 in no particular order? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Georgia, Baylor, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Florida, Oregon, and Michigan State. Oregon's got Phil Knight in an NIL era. Michigan State's Mel Tucker killed the transfer portal. Florida has Billy Napier, I'm a big believer. And Ole Miss is going to have a five-star quarterback as long as Lane Kiffin calls Oxford home. Clemson, safe and secure, also in the top 10. I'm Mark Ryan.
Offsides with Mark Ryan, local unfiltered sports talk this afternoon 3 to 7 on The Fan Upstate. 97.7 FM Greenville, 97.1 FM Spartanburg, and on the Odyssey app.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Former Bengals CJ Uzomah just saw Joe Burrow lead Cincy to the Super Bowl in his second NFL season. Now, the new Jets tight end is seeing similar year 2 potential in Zach Wilson. Uzomah on Wednesday praised the work ethic of his new quarterback, adding of Wilson, quote, "He's talented as hell. I'm expecting him to make huge strides this season." The Lions have similar high hopes despite just 3 wins last season. Receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown said Wednesday the team isn't shooting for any goal lower than the Super Bowl, thanks in large part to the addition of speedy Alabama receiver Jamison Williams in round 1. St. Brown adds, quote, "I think we're a complete offense. Now we have so many weapons." In other news, the Texans bolstered their pass rush by signing former Bills veteran edge rusher Jerry Hughes, while the Bears added a pair of targets for Justin Fields, signing receivers Dante Pettis and Tajay Sharp. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Granger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Here at Total Wine and More, you'll find what you love and love what you find, especially our totally low prices. My friends and I are hanging out this weekend, and I'm on cooler duty. Well, these seltzers and canned cocktails, they'll make you the king of the cooler. Oh, that sounds good. Wow, I can fill my cooler without emptying my wallet? Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. With the lowest prices in South Carolina. Drink responsibly, B21. Chili Cooks will fill the town square Saturday, May 14th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. when downtown Belton hosts the 12th annual South Carolina State Chili Cook-Off Championship, presented by IMS of Belton. Enjoy the entertainment, children's activities, art and historical exhibits, and, of course, lots and lots of chili. Admission is free, and tasting tickets can be purchased on site, so come hungry. All proceeds benefit local nonprofits. For details and directions, visit scchiliCookoff.com. Saturday, May 14th in Belton.
Get in the game on the Rob Brown Show.
Only on the Fan.
The Fan
Upstate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Rob Brown Show rolls on. This is the Fan Upstate. Hello. Thanks for spending your Thursday morning with me. I am Rob Brown, and the pleasure is exclusively mine. Text line's open for you. 71307. Preferred Home Services text line 71307. Start your text with Fan FE, and I'll read them on the air. Texter said teams should try to sprinkle some Cialis in the humidors to try to get a 4-hour window of help with liftoff and more penetrating ball flight. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's the, ladies and gentlemen, the kind of highbrow humor you are only getting right here on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate. And no, I don't regret reading that. I will not regret reading that. Texter said, let's see, hang on. I gotta get this full text. This one's a good one. Let's see. Fan. Hey, Rob. I love college football, and I have a question. I hope your show can answer for me. Who has more bowl wins? The Gamecocks program, entire 129-year history, or Dabo Swinney? Just curious. Thanks in advance. I love it. I love it. There's never a bad time for smack talk, is there? Never a bad time to take a pot shot at the rival. Never. Texas said the only thing dropping faster than the home run rate is baseball viewership. The numbers aren't, honestly, they're not like, they're not as existential as a lot of radio guys are making them out to be, right? Like here's, I'm gonna pull back the curtain for just a second. I don't know why I say this like I don't do this every day. Let me pull back the curtain for a minute. What a lot of radio guys love to do, and I'm not one of them. All right, it's never been my style. What a lot of radio guys really enjoy doing is making things way more dramatic than they are, right? Because it's hard to react to the mundane. Let's just call it what it is. It is hard to react to the mundane. Baseball viewership being stagnant but okay. What's the reaction there? Hey, everybody, baseball is good enough. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing to react to there. If baseball viewership is just good enough, there's nothing to react to, right? The numbers are the same. They're slightly up, they're slightly down, but they're certainly within the traditional margin of error. There's no panic. So the easy thing to do is to take a slight drop in numbers. I mean a slight drop in numbers. And to turn that into absolute chaos, right? To turn that into chaos. There's a slight drop. Oh, no! Baseball's dying! No! Stop. Just relax. It's fine. But they got to have something to react to, right? So it's easier to say baseball's dying and viewership is down and nobody's watching. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Baseball viewership is okay, right? Last year's World Series improved. Are there concerns? Sure, because the sport's not growing viewers, sure. But let's not pretend like the pandemic season didn't hurt that. $1 billion in lost revenue in 2020 didn't hurt that. A 60-game season didn't hurt that. The 2020 World Series had the worst viewership ever. All-time low, 10.3 million for the final game. The Atlanta Braves final World game, almost 2 million more people watching. The overall numbers from 2020 to this year are up. The average ratings are up. Now, they're not where they were at 2019. 2019, 13.9 million, almost 14 million people watched that World Series. You were at just shy of 12 in 2021. Everybody points to 2016. 2016, 23.4 million viewers to that World Series. That's a ridiculous high, right? But who played in that World Series? Can you remember the 2016 World Series? Who played in the 2016 World Series? The Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Guardians. All right? You had two teams in the World Series that do not go to the World Series and playing each other. You had added benefits. You had every Chicago Cubs fan and every friend of a Chicago Cubs fan watching that team together. right? My little brother's a Cubs fan. My mom was born in Chicago. My little brother was dropped on his head and grew up a Chicago Cubs fan. I don't care about the Chicago Cubs, but I watched the hell out of the World Series for him. I had a dear friend of mine back in Florida, Kellen, big Cleveland Guardian Indians fan. I watched the World Series with him because he's a big fan. 23 million watched that. But that was an anomaly. That was a weird year, man. Those two teams don't make that. That's not, they're not World Series teams. Get out of here with that. So everybody watched. But unless you go back like 20 years, that was far and away. 2010, 14.2 mil. 2012, 12.6. 2019, 13.9. 2020 was 9.78. That's bad. But again, we had other crap going on in our lives at that point, right? We had other stuff going on in our lives in 2020. Trust me. My job was sports. And in that 2020 era, with my job being sports, I still was like, I got other stuff to worry about. I can't watch a baseball game. So, of course, the numbers were down. This year, back up. Almost back up to 12. It's going to take some time. You lost a lot of fans during the COVID year. It's fine. But like I said, that isn't quite as fun as, baseball's dying. Everything's killing baseball. It's not, guys. It's not. Baseball attendance in person is fine. Baseball viewership in person is fine. I heard somebody say, actually, I heard Mark yesterday say, kids don't like baseball. Guys, sports viewership amongst all sports is down with kids. I've told you this 100 times. This is not a baseball thing. Viewership of all sports amongst the youngest demographics are down. And it's not because the sports are bad or something is going wrong with the sports. Sports viewership amongst the next generation is down because these kids have an infinite number of resources for entertainment. Twitch. Go, if you have not been on Twitch before, go open Twitch and search anything you're interested in. Somewhere in the world right now, someone is streaming something you like on Twitch. I do a baseball gambling show that broadcasts live on Twitch on Saturdays, 4 hours. YouTube has billions of channels, right? Billions of channels. If you want to watch something there, easy. There is an infinite number of options for entertainment for the next generation. So a 3.5-hour baseball game is not going to hold the attention like it did for me when I came home from school, and the only thing I had to do was turn it on TBS or TNT or WGN and watch the Braves or the Cubs every day. I didn't have Twitch. I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have 683 damn satellite channels in my house. You had cable, and you got the Braves and the Cubs if you lived in the South. And that was it. Kids don't not like baseball. Go down to any park on a Saturday. You're going to see Little League Baseball. What kids don't like is sitting down and watching baseball. Why? Because there are 10,000 more things to watch, to talk about, to be involved with. Keegan, what's up, big dog?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well, sir. Wanted to call in, give your voice a rest, and also give my opinion.
Have at it, pal. It's all yours. I'll be over here drinking a Monster if you need me.
I think that the whole sports viewership as a whole has really changed over the past, I would say, the past 5 years. Kind of what you were saying, just with how everything is so platform-based and so content-based. And younger viewers growing up, it's not so much having a favorite team as it is having a favorite player. And it really filtered its way into every sport. That's why the whole name, image, and likeness has become such a big deal. It's because people care more about players than they do the teams. And with every platform just about having a streaming service of some kind, you can watch baseball games on Apple TV. There's Hulu Sports. There is NFL Red Zone. You can watch as little sports as you want and still know everything you want to know. You don't have to watch 3 hours of baseball or 4 hours of basketball. You get to know everything you need to know on your phone. And so as opposed to watching games and building a fandom for those teams, you follow your favorite players on Instagram and on TikTok and Twitter, and you basically idolize them as a person as opposed to a player. Mike Trout is by far one of the greatest baseball players to have ever played the game, but he's not talked about it in such a way because he's such a low-key personality. He's not a big personality. He doesn't market himself very well. He's one of the greatest players ever, but he's not one of the most popular players, and I don't know if he ever will be, just because so much has changed in how people ingest their sports.
So I like that. You brought up something I actually did not consider, and I'm the perfect example of that, is that it's actually significantly easier. Actually, it's really easy to follow the sport and barely watch the sport, right? So on Saturdays, I do a nationally syndicated baseball gambling show, which means it would be really beneficial for me to know what every team has going on, who's hot, who's not, who's doing well against the spread, who's not, etc. But, dude, there's 30, 35 baseball games on a day. I can't watch all of them. However, I got 6 or 7 different social media accounts and the MLB Network, and I follow all of it. And so I can get a very quick rundown from a lot of different viewpoints of what happened in any given game. I don't necessarily need to sprint home to watch the 131st pitch of the Yankees and the Blue Jays today, the two best teams in the AL East, two teams I think compete for the crown, two teams that are playing really good baseball. I don't have to sprint home. I got a widget on my office computer that I click open, and it puts it up in the corner, a live scoreboard for me, and it with the little update of every pitch by pitch that goes. Now I don't count as eyeballs on that game, Keegan, but I'm following that game and what's happening down to the pitch, and with that being as easy as literally clicking a single button and following that game and being able to watch that game without watching that game, it's taking eyeballs off of games, but it is not taking me away from baseball as a product. At the end of the day, baseball still got me wrapped up.
And I think it's a big factor into the viewership numbers and how they count it, because everyone you talk to, they don't talk to you about the one baseball game that was on. If you talk to somebody about sports, they'll mention the 15 different games that were on, and you're almost forced to have one of those widgets or have a sports app to where you can read the scores and read highlights just so you can keep up in conversation. Nobody wants to know how the third string left-handed pitcher did when he came in for 8 pitches for your favorite team. Nobody cares about that. So they only want to know of the generalization of all the teams on TV right now. Nobody wants to have an in-depth conversation about it. So everybody's forced to get their sports content in small, bite-sized pieces so they can have surface-level conversation with everyone they come in contact with. And I think it's really what's changed the game about how we ingest that and fantasy sports, because fantasy sports is the bane of my existence.
I'm also bad at them. Keegan, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much, my man.
Yes, sir. Y'all take it easy.
There you go. That's Keegan checking in on the show. Appreciate it as always, my guy. Thank you very much. My man said, I'll give your voice a rest. I respect it. I appreciate it. Yeah, Texter said daily fantasy sports has changed sports as well, because 100% you're just watching players now and not teams. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a Braves fan, right? I'm a Braves fan. I watch the Braves. When I can get the Braves on, I watch the Braves. And then there are other teams I watch at the top. I watch, the Yankees are killing it right now in the American League. I got to keep an eye on them. There are other teams that I watch, but I'm a Braves fan, right? daily fantasy if I'm playing it. I may not be watching the Reds game, but if Hunter Green's on the hill, and with betting as well, right? Like I'm a betting guy. If I take Hunter Green to hit the 6.5K strikeout prop, I don't need to watch the whole game. I can watch his K counter right there on my desktop. I don't have to watch anything. And I think that has done a number two. Those people who are going, oh no, baseball numbers are dying. They are just being dramatic to have something to talk about because they can't talk baseball. If you ask it, next time you hear a radio host making drama about how the numbers are down, call in him and ask him, who's your favorite in the NL East? Who's your favorite in the AL East? They won't have anything for you because they can't talk baseball. That's why they bring up panic and pretend like that's the case. Let's take a break. I'm Rob Brown. The Rob Brown Show's right here on the Fan Upstate. Keegan, thank you, big fella. Appreciate you calling in.
Galloway, a transfer, played at Boston College, averaging 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 steal per game. And now he is going to use his 6th season of eligibility to play at Clemson. South Carolina basketball also adding to their roster as they are bringing in a transfer from the University of Illinois in Benjamin Boston-Verdonk as he announces his commitment to the Gamecocks program. He appeared in 24 games for the Fighting Illini last season, averaging 1.5 points and 2 rebounds per game. Download the Odyssey app and search for the Fan Upstate, then listen anywhere on your phone. I'm Matt Pauley, and that's your Sports Flash on the Fan Upstate.
97.1 FM Spartanburg.
Hey, it's Rob Brown. Listen, I've been around the real estate game for many years. My dad was a real estate agent when I was growing up, and he taught me a lot. Traded it early. Okay, I'll take that. That's a good one. That's a good one to win. I like that one. The best information available is when you're going to sell your home, you want to sell it for the most money possible, obviously. And in order to accomplish that, you need the expertise of an Allen Tate realtor in your corner. In today's low inventory market, homes in good condition attract multiple buyers, and with multiple buyers comes multiple offers, sometimes within days of listing. And when buyers compete, you sell your home for more money. So when you are ready to sell, do not settle for one offer when you can choose your best offer. Choose the Carolinas' #1 real estate company, Allen Tate. Reach out to them now. You can find them online at allentate.com. Allentate.com. It's our friends at Allen Tate Realtors. Don't go through another summer with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now. Hey, it's Rob Brown. That pain in your back, your knees, your shoulders, it can now be treated with the latest in precision medicine using natural biologics, growth factors that can restore and repair damaged tissue. It's really exciting stuff. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving you access right here in Greenville to this modern-day joint pain solution. You can get lasting joint pain relief with no drugs, no steroids, no downtime, and no surgery. You've heard Emmett Smith raving about QC Kinetics. You've heard other high-profile athletes talking about it. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can help you get your life back. So take action now. Get a free consultation. It is powerful, effective joint pain treatments with natural biologics. Sorry, kids. I got to do some math so I can figure out what time I need to take my next break. Don't go anywhere. 3772 with locations in Greenville and Asheville. That's 864-448-3772.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if the prescription.
It's a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to forhims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra.
Think I got it.
90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointment, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are
So I won the superlative for who actually watched the most sports. Oh, that's an easy one. That one was never in doubt. That one's absolutely me. Not a doubt in my brain. Most watches the most, attends the most, spends the most on. All of those are me. It's not even a doubt. Oh yeah, for the record, everything's in good fun we do here. We can get heated with each other because that's what brothers do. But yeah, we are all here for the same reason. We all have a good time with each other. We all mess with each other. It's all good.
Cybersecurity firm secured a contract, and that's all we're allowed to say. We have a green light on hiring. He needs web security professionals with a military background. 3 teams of 4, 24-hour rotations, but Protocol Zulu is on a need-to-know basis. Indeed can help him hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard, so you can stay organized and connected all the way to the hire. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead with Fidelity Income Planning. We'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and help you build a flexible plan for cash flow designed to last, so you can go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services number NYSE SIPC.
Listen on the Odyssey app. Search the Fan Upstate.
Am I doing an extra long Twitter trending topics? Yes, I am. Am I doing it by myself? Yes, I am. Am I doing it by myself because I want to burn this last segment? Because if I do this correctly, I will get out of here and be able to go, hey, hashtag nailed it. Why, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am. It is time for Twitter Trending Topics, where I, by myself, will take a look at the things that are trending on Twitter and try to, without also reading why they're trending on Twitter, tell you why they're trending on Twitter. Yeah. So there's that. This one I actually did know, though. Trending on Twitter right now is the Milky Way. Why? It's not sports. It's not sports, but it's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I genuinely love is science. Those of you that have followed the show for any length of time know this about me. I love science. Every good thing we have comes from science. It comes from us figuring out how the natural world works around us and putting 2 and 2 together to get images of the Milky Way's black hole for the first time. And in the core of, we believe, most spiral galaxies, like our own Milky Way, is a crazy, super dense, massive black hole around which the galaxy itself revolves, yeah? And we've been working under the assumption for many years that the Milky Way was no different and that we had a black hole at the center of the Milky Way, but there was no way to know that. We could not have seen that. Welp, astronomers announced earlier this morning that they have captured an image of the supermassive black hole at the middle of the Milky Way galaxy for the first time. Can not believe it. It's incredible. It's incredible. The image was released in 6 simultaneous news conferences in Washington and around the globe. It showed a lumpy donut of radio emission framing empty space. Listen, it's a bad picture. All right, it's really tough to see, but knowing what you're looking at, it's amazing. It's amazing that we look. If I take my glasses on, I can't see across the street, but we have found a way to peer through the vast expanse of space to see a spot where space and time as we know it cease to exist. Or don't. Who the hell knows? You cross the event horizon of a black hole, we have no idea what happens on the other side. You could be compressed into an infinitely dense spot of mass and gravity, so powerful that light itself cannot escape and be spaghettified into nothing. Or you might pass through a wormhole and into another dimension, across the galaxy, across the universe via wormhole. Who knows? Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that amazing? It is to me. It is to me. All right, what else is trending on Twitter? Let's see here. Greg Norman is oh, of course Greg Norman's trending on Twitter. Hey, Greg, can I do you a piece of advice? If you want this Saudi Arabian-backed golf tournament that you are working ever so diligently on to take off, may I offer you a piece of advice, Greg Norman? Shut up, dude. Shut up, guy. So here's what happened with Greg Norman. I've been following this, and I actually did not plan on bringing it up, but it's trending on Twitter, so I have to. Greg Norman, Greg Norman said, when talking about the Saudi-backed Golf League, which has some funding from a number of Saudi Arabian authorities who were probably directly connected to the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist who was killed brutally. Greg was like, hey, we've all made mistakes. Dude, Greg, not a good take. Not a great call. Greg, you know what sucks about this the most? As I act selfishly as hell? What sucks about this the most, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, what sucks about this the most for me is that I used to be a huge Greg Norman fan. I used to be a huge Greg Norman fan back in the day. Like, enormous Greg Norman fan. As a matter of fact, I just recently got rid of a Greg Norman shirt that I had been carrying around for I don't even know how to tell you how long. I had been carrying around a Greg Norman shirt for years, and I used to wear it to golf all the time. I can't do it anymore because he just won't stop. Just stop. Just don't say murderers are okay because they're paying me lots of money. Greg, not a great take, man. You are already going to have a tough enough time trying to get this league off the ground with the PGA Tour doing everything they can to stop you, right? And it's working, by the way. Trying to do everything they can do to stop you. And you're making it easier for them. Like, why? Why would you try to make that easier for them to do? That seems like, what's the word? Bad. Dumb. Sounds like a terrible idea, man. Like a terrible idea. Anyway. By the way, if you did not hear the story yesterday, the PGA Tour has said that they will not be allowing golfers to have an exemption to play on that first event, which of course they're not. Why the hell would they? Why would they? That would be a terrible idea. Hey, guys who make our league go play in another tour. That's not no, of course they're not. Everybody's like, oh, that's drama. It's not really drama. It's them going, yeah, we'd like to survive, and they threaten that, so no. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for hanging out with me today. Hope you had a good time. I did, and I didn't break anything, so yay me. We're out. We're back tomorrow to do it all over again. I am Rob Brown. Zoe rejoins us. Then y'all have a great rest of your day. Jim Rum's up next. Mark Ryan and Diesel after that right here on the Fan Upstate. Later, brother.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur with words from another happy customer.
Citrus software accounting is amazing. I was able to see where's all my expenses going, where's the revenue, which month had more revenue. I definitely recommend it to you guys who are a small business and need to record your expenses. And they just make it so easy. I was like, wow, affordable and easy to use. I have recommended it to colleagues.
Easy to learn, easy to use. Small business software tailored just for you.
Oh, Sarah, you're still on the stream. Hey, Steven said, how long before you remember to turn off the stream? Now. It's till now. Thank you, guys. I sincerely appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, man. Made the world a difference to me, and you guys kept me going during the breaks instead of panicking. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be back to normal. Love you guys. Bye.